Welcome back to my channel. I'm at Willowvision Online covering the second rehearsals from the first semi-final of Eurovision 2022 from Turin. And in this video, we're going to be looking at Denmark, Austria, Greece, Portugal, and a recap back of Albania. For Denmark this year, the girl group REDDI and the song The Show. This one certainly does things differently in how it begins as a piano ballad that then suddenly turns all rock. The girls are bringing incredible energy and attitude, and each time the rehearsal finished, you could see that they were really enjoying it. They were chatting to one another and they were certainly happy. It's bright and it's colourful and it's loud. And they're certainly ready. It's very well rehearsed. It's what they did on stage in their Danish final and bringing it with even more enthusiasm to the Eurovision stage. Denmark didn't qualify last year and REDDI are clearly ready and waiting to get back into the final this year. For Austria Lumix featuring Pia Maria and Halo. Now this is a song that I love to listen to. The track is fantastic, but from what I've seen on the stage today, there are definitely some things to work on, shall we say, namely the vocals, the female vocals in particular. Now this is just a rehearsal, but when you have such a highly produced sound as they do in the track, it can be very difficult to replicate that live, and when it comes to Eurovision, being able to get close to that is very important. I would say that in the run-throughs that I saw this afternoon, it was okay, but it was by no means where it would need to be. In between the rehearsals, Pia was definitely speaking to the technicians around what she was hearing in her in-ears. So clearly there was something going on here, similar to Croatia, who also spoke against this. But that alone potentially wasn't all that was happening. Pia also had a glow up today. Her hair styled by the contest sponsor Moroccan Oil, and fabulous it looked too. Austria missed out on the final last year with Vincent Bueno and Amen. This track has the potential, but vocally it needs to be stronger when it comes to next week. Greece 2022. Amanda and Die together, and what a beautiful vocal she delivers. She appears on stage alone in a white long dress, her hair braided and back. On the main stage floor, there are broken chairs left cracked and melting into the ground. It's a very dramatic thing to see. The last chair I can remember was the Danish chair from a couple of years ago, but this is altogether different to that. There is a sense of the epic about this song. The tone comes across really well. The engagement from Amanda is really good. I think that it's very close to where it needs to be for next week. As I said at the top, vocally, she's incredibly strong. And some of these sweeping shots and the lighting all go in its favour. I definitely think that Greece will be in the final this year. And I think they're going to do really well with Amanda. Maro and Saudade for Portugal this year, and I have to say it's one of my favourites. I am an absolute sucker for the Portuguese entry most years, and this is no exception. It's a beautiful song, very gentle, very earnest, very sincere, and this entry is performed in full on the B stage at the very front. Of course, Portugal used the B stage in Kiev when the victory went to Salvador. Not that I'm connecting these, but you know, they used the B stage in the past. Of course, one member of the wider delegation has tested positive for COVID, and during the run-throughs there was a stand-in used wearing a mask in one of the performances. Then they left the stage for the subsequent performances, leaving it from 6 down to 5. The sincerity, the gentleness, the calm, the feeling and the emotion, it all comes true. And of course there's the clapping moment, which is very gentle but very memorable as well. I think subtle is really the word that I would use for this, and it suits the sound and it suits the staging. No matter what happens, this is definitely going to be one that I'm going to listen to over and over again. But as I say, I'm a complete sucker when it comes to the Portuguese entry. And doing it the other way around, what was first is now last, and namely Ronela for Albania with Sekret. So those of us watching online got to see it at the end of today because it was missed earlier on. The performance was shown twice, and it was the first run through from this morning. Costumes changed, hair whipping, plenty dancing, plenty of motion, plenty of movement. There was some controversy, some press around the entry earlier in the week. Was it or wasn't it suitable for the family audience? But I think that those fears have been allayed and it is going as it is. Funny moment that happened at the very end when the rehearsal had finished, and she said that she thought her bra was falling off. It didn't, I can confirm that. I think there are still some things that need to be cleaned up and refined in terms of the camera movements, in terms of where they need to be. But when that crowd is in there from next week, in the rehearsals and then in the live shows, I think this is going to come across as a real vibe, a real mood. And I would not be surprised to see Albania qualify to the final, where they have been many times before. So that's it for today, day 5, a whistle stop. The schedule moved around a bit, but we had to just roll with it. Coming up tomorrow, the last of the first semi-finalists and on to semi-final 2. If you like the videos, please do subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. More Eurovision Song Contest soon.